Ladies and gentlemen, we're running just about 2 or 3 minutes late. Just bear with us. Okay, we're we're running a little bit late this morning, but anyway, it is February the 7th, 2024. We want to welcome members to you as well as our committee guest, and though potentially those millions of people who may be streaming in this morning. We're coming to you live from downtown Nashville, Tennessee, internationally known as Music City, USA. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Representatives Alexander, Bricken, Butler, Carringer, Chisholm, Dixie, Haston, Holsclaw, Hurt, Jernigan, Johnson, Leatherwood, Littleton, McCalman, Miller, Pearson, Powell, Powers, Rudder, Terry, Vice Chair Eldridge, Chairman Kiesling.
Here, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
We do have a quorum. Okay, members, to you, have any, and I know we do, and we're going to call on Representative Butler. But in addition to that, be alert. Personal order announcements or personal orders. Representative Butler, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to recognize I've got Overton County youth leadership here today that is spending the day at the Capitol. They've had a Capitol tour, and they're going to continue to participate and learn about how state government works. And I've got one of my boys in this group today. So if you wouldn't make them feel welcome.
Yes. And you are going to provide lunch for them, aren't you, Representative Butler? Yes. He says yes. They can look forward to that. Okay. Further, other members, do we have any? Y'all have any announcements? Personal orders? The chair does. I want to welcome today. I want to welcome the group from of seniors from Zion Christian Academy down in Murray County, and they're led today. There's a total of around 30 of them, and they're going to be here with us, and they're led by Dr. Mark Leatherman. And I want to also add that our own Representative Capley is an alumnus from Zion Christian Academy. So we're looking forward to his bill. He's got a bill he's on the calendar today. Now I've searched also in personal orders. I tried my best to have some big time entertainer here today to sing a happy birthday melody to our own Michelle Carringer, who has just celebrated a birthday on the 4th of this month. So if you would, shall we applaud her? We'll not ask her her date of birth here, but let's just give her a big old happy birthday welcome. Now, actually, in addition to that, we have two more who celebrated birthdays in January, and that's Representative Pearson and Representative Powell. So happy birthday, gentlemen, to you all as well.
Chairman.
Oh, yes. Chairman Jernigan, you're recognized.
No personal order.
Personal order? Go right ahead, sir.
We have a colleague of ours who sat on this committee, Representative Bill Beck. This was his district. He was on this committee for years, and he's no longer with us, but I wanted to take a brief moment of silence if we could, just to recognize his service to this committee. He was a friend of ours, Chairman.
Sure was.
And I was just, I greatly miss him. And if we could just take a few moments, that would be.
Please, let's do.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Jernigan. Appreciate that very much. Yes. Leader Johnson, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick question. What about the members that have birthdays while we're not in session?
What I have planned, Leader, is at the conclusion of this committee this year, I'm going to have a special recognition, gifts or something for those of you who don't get that privilege. So we'll certainly have we will certainly have that. Absolutely. Pardon me? I did. I included the word gifts, didn't I? All right. Okay, we're still moving along with some preliminaries. Before we get to the calendar, I want to send out a special thanks. I'm looking down at our Chairman Eldridge. Thank you for filling in the big seat last week. We appreciate you very much, and great job. Appreciate that. Yeah, let's do that. Also, our subcommittee chairs, those that take a lot of time and effort and attention for that matter, I want to thank personally Representative or Chairman John Holsclaw and Chair Lady Iris Rudder and Chairman Chris Hurt. Chris is corrections sub, and Iris public service sub, and John is departments and agencies. Lady and gentlemen, thank you all very much for that. I appreciate you. Staff has changed since last year, and I want to take a moment to introduce some of our new staff personnel. And I'm going to ask you, although it may be a slight inconvenience, I do want you all to stand as I make those introductions now, with the exception of Matt Mundy over here and Nathan. But I want our assistant for the committee and assistant for our office is Emily Johnson. Emily, back up and stand up. Also, we have Lacey Hunter. Lacey, where are you? There, she's over to my left. Lacey, yeah, give her a hand. She's a senior. She's a senior over at Maryville College, and home is Weir Valley up in Sevier County. So we're tickled to death for her. And down below, our clerks is Jalen Phillips from beautiful Scott County. Jalen, stand please. And John Cleverhouse. John, thank you. John comes to us from beautiful downtown Atlanta. So we're glad to know that since this is UT Day on the Hill, we're glad to know that you're a volunteer now, sir. We appreciate that. Of course, we're always appreciative of Ruben and his presence here as our Sergeant of Arms. Yes, Ruben, please. Thank you very much. We appreciate y'all. Thank you. Now we're getting close to the conclusion of preliminaries. Before we get to the announcement on our committee and policies, we never want to forget about this day in history. It was on this day in history in 1812, the earthquake that caused the Mississippi River to run backwards. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was in, I think, our colleagues, our chairman, Christie, or not, down in Northwest Tennessee. Who? Yeah, Grills, Rusty. And that, so that was down there in his district. Wow. 1904, the Great Baltimore Fire started there in Maryland. The fire destroyed more than 1,500 buildings and around 1,000 more were severely damaged. It was considered and still one of the worst fires in American history. 1943, the federal government announced that the shoe rationing would go into effect in 2 days, limiting each purchaser to 3 pairs for the remainder of the year as part of, wartime rationing. It was John F. Kennedy in 1962. He banned all Cuban imports and exports to the U.S. 1984, astronaut Bruce McCandless made the first ever untethered spacewalk. Famous birthdays. It was Charles Dickens, author of Christmas Carol, born in 1812, and Garth as in Brooks, a 1962er. And the number one song in 1978 on this day was, it was the Gibbs Brothers, Staying Alive. Bee Gees, Staying Alive. Yep. All right. On to we're going to do a brief. I'm not going to read, members, all the committee's policy and procedures. We've already been through that. There is an exception, though. The only exception or addition, I might add, will be that we will be operating under the same committee rules and procedures. Of course, I already said that, with the addition of, and here you go. Here's exception. We do have a 5-minute limit on sponsors to their sponsors for their bills. So I think that is Mr. That'll do it. Now we are ready to move on to our calendar, and we have Leader Lambert. Item number 1-8, House Bill 1733, sir. You're up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the
Got a
committee.
motion and a second. Chairman or
Thank-
Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Chairman, this is a very, very simple bill. It just says we don't pay hackers for ransomware in this state. There are a couple of technical changes that the department's recommended. It's an amendment code 013478. And Mr. Chairman, I know we had spoken beforehand. That amendment was tendered late. And so I understand that may bump me a week, but I do want to let the committee know it's been filed for your review. It changes literally a couple of words. It allows them to communicate with the hackers, but they can't pay them. And it puts some streamlined language in there just on how the department deals with these folks. I will tell you that we've had some really interesting conversations on this with the departments to ensure that we have redundant backups, that we're using multiple cloud services, that we have actual physical backups of all of our systems, because the hackers that want to get paid are part of the problem, but it's the ones that just want to wreck your system and grind our state to a halt are the ones that really terrify me. And so we're going to put a sign outside the state of Tennessee that says not for sale. Don't even bother hacking our systems because we ain't going to pay you. That's what it does, Mr. Chairman.
Great, and thank you for cooperating with us. That is our policy on when it comes to amendments, and I know you understand. I appreciate you very much. Thank you, and yes, we will. Please note that this one, 1733, will be rolled 1 week. All right.
Chairman.
With that, we are going to we're going to make an exception. We're going to go out of order quickly, and for that reason, we're going to recognize. Okay, yeah, I forgot my gavel. All right, Representative Butler, you're going to take if you'll present. We're now on HJR. This will be item number 9 on your calendar. HJR 733. Representative Butler, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman and committee. This bill is fairly simple. It will designate August 1st as Gold Star Children's Day. And so in subcommittee, I was asked how many Gold Star families there are in Tennessee. So I have gathered that data thanks to my assistant. And currently there are 9,974 families registered as a Gold Star in the state of Tennessee. So with that, I will renew my motion and answer any questions.
Thank you very much for that presentation. And yes, we do. Representative McCallum, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Sponsor, I just want to commend you for bringing this. I think that's a good bill. And I think it's great that the state of Tennessee is going to be recognizing these children.
Amen. Representative Butler,
Thank you, Chairman.
response?
I had a friend of mine who is a Gold Star son. They passed this in Alabama last year, and he asked that I would carry this in Tennessee, which I was, of course, honored to be able to carry this and designate August 1st as national or as state Gold Star Children's Day. So thank you.
Sure. Very good. All right. Further questions, comments to the sponsor? Anyone? All right. We have a call for the question. I see no objections. Let us vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, say no. Those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? The bill passes.
Thank you, committee.
And HJR. Now, Representative Butler, you're headed to calendar and rules next week, sir. Thank you very much, and I appreciate it. And if you need to be excused, you can join your group if you need to, sir. All right. With that, we are now on is Chairman Boyd. Yes, Chairman Boyd is here. If you will, Chairman, go ahead and make your way up. This is item number 2. Thank you. House Bill 1693. We have a motion and a second and no amendments. I see none. So, Chairman Boyd, great to have you in the house today.
Thank you,
You're
Mr. Chairman.
recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman Committee. It's great to be here. And so members, in 2019, we formed the Tennessee Commission for the United States Semi-Quincentennial Commission Act. And this bill, and that was in preparation of our country's upcoming 250th birthday. And this piece of legislation just makes a couple of changes to it. It allows members of the committee to make a designee or a proxy to attend the meetings in their place. Additionally, it transfers responsibility from the Department of Tourism over to the Tennessee State Museum. Mr. Chairman, I'll take any questions.
Thank you, sir. Very good. And all right, with that, Representative Pearson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, sponsor. Can you say a little bit more about whether the Tennessee State Museum or the Department of Tourism Development were the advocates for this transition from the tourist development to the Tennessee State Museum?
Chairman
Commission?
Boyd?
Are you, make sure I understand, you're asking, did they advocate for this?
Yes.
Chairman Boyd.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think it was just, this kind of falls under the historical purview, and they were better equipped to do that than it being more of a tourism thing. And that became more and more evident as the committee met over the last few years. And so sort of in collaboration between the Department of Tourism and the museum, it was just determined that was the best way to handle it.
Representative Pearson, back to you. Just an FYI, Representative Pearson, we do have testimony coming that may
Okay.
be answered.
Okay, that'd be great.
Oh, they're available. I'm sorry, excuse me. They're available if we need them. Would you, Representative Pearson, like to have them come forward?
That would be great.
Sure, great. Let's do that. Let's go out of session then. And you guys know who you are. Come on up and join us. And as you position yourself, make sure whoever's taking the lead role, mic on, scoot it up, bring it up closer to you, activate it. But I bet it'll be Ashley. Ashley Howell, you are here, and Director Howell, thank you for being here. You're recognized.
Yes, hi. I'm Ashley Howell. I'm the director of the Tennessee State Museum. I'm also the chair of the Tennessee Semi-Quincentennial Commission. My voice will catch up eventually, so apologies. We have been working with tourism. We've also been working with the Tennessee State Library and Archives, the state historian, Tennessee Historical Society, East Tennessee Historical Society, the Sons of American Revolution, Daughters of the American Revolution, on planning for the semi-quincentennial. So as those plans are sort of moving forward, we're planning a statewide collaboration programs, all 95 counties, and we're activating our networks to make that happen. So as we worked with tourism, we looked at the planning involved. The recommendation was made between agencies to make this switch.
Thank you, Director Howell. Representative Pearson, to you. We were in that line of questioning. If you're up, sir, if you have any question.
Thank you so much. No, just knowing that collaboration is happening, extremely helpful. I heard you mention a couple of agencies. Do you have a museum that you're working with in Tennessee, in Western Tennessee, on this as well?
Director?
So we are working with the Tennessee Association of Museums and are presenting at the upcoming conference in a collaborative effort to talk about museum involvement. That conference is taking place in Middle Tennessee this year. Last year, it was in West Tennessee.
Excellent.
Representative Pearson, further?
No
Further
more-
question? No, he says no. Yes,
Thank you.
Representative Powell, you're recognized, sir.
Just out of curiosity and for the knowledge of the community, can you tell me some of the things that are planned for this semi-quincentennial presentation? And obviously Tennessee was not a state officially when that happened. So are there going to be other displays coming from around the country to celebrate the semi-quincentennial?
Director?
Yes, thank you for the question. So the planning for the commission, we listened to Tennesseans. We asked Tennesseans what did they want to see across the state. And through that, we are planning for a statewide focus on Tennesseans and Tennessee events that have helped shape American democracy from the revolutionary era to the present. So that's educational programs, workshops, teacher programs, website, social media assist. We also want to connect sites, objects, places, stories across the state in kind of a trail of sorts. So we're currently in the planning of that. Just to talk about our own history, local history, state history, as it relates to our nation's history. Funding for the commission is currently in the governor's budget that was presented just recently. So we're planning also for support to communities in the form of a grants program for things like events, the digitization of primary sources, publications. So we've got big dreams. We're gonna need, Tennesseans across the state to participate and support this. And I think it will be a great moment in 2026. The Tennessee State Museum is, we will be a venue for a traveling exhibit in collaboration with the DAR Museum in DC. And so we'll be able to share more information about that as those details become available.
Representative Powell, further questions? None. He says none. Anyone else while we're out of session? None. I don't see. Well, y'all did a good job. Okay. Thank you very much. And by the way, I would be remiss before you get up, I'd be remiss not to announce that we have Mary Catherine here. Mary Catherine, she is our new legislative liaison, correct? So we appreciate you being with us today. Thank you very much. All right. We're back in session. We are back in session, and all eyes now are back on you, Chairman Boyd. Any further remarks that you would like to make? We've got a question called on the bill, and that puts us in a position to vote. So let us vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, no. And the ayes have it. And congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee.
Chairman, you are going. Where's he going? He's going. You're going to finance. Yes, sir. Straight to finance, sir. Thank you. Happy trails. All right. We're going to ask now we're going to call on Representative Barrett with item number 3, and that'll be House Bill 1687 members. 1687. Representative Barrett, you're up. We got a motion and a second. You are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And before I get too far into this very complex bill here, I just want to let my colleague from Montgomery County know that I had my 50th in November, and it's never too late to send cards or gifts.
Thank you for that.
House Bill 1687, members of the committee. This is, of course, they're all simple bills, but this is a very simple bill in that you probably all got visited by your 911 professionals that were on the Hill yesterday. This addresses an issue with dispatchers and hiring dispatchers, in that right now under the law, they have to get their physicals done by a licensed physician. This would change the law to allow them to get their physicals done through a nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant. It's going to make it cheaper and easier for them to get in and out and get that done.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Representative Barrett. You have heard an explanation of the bill. Members, we do have questions. Yes, Representative Pearson, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, sponsor. Are the standards that the physician assistant is going to be using the same that would be whatever the standards are for the physician currently?
Representative Barrett.
Yes, the same requirements for any physical that's going to be done. It's just going to be done by somebody that is easier to get in front of and also cheaper to get that done.
Representative Pearson.
And will a physician ultimately be signing off on what the physician assistant or the nurse practitioner is
Representative
doing?
Barrett.
So nurse practitioners and physician's assistants operate under the administration of a licensed physician as is under the law currently.
Representative Pearson.
Thank you.
Gotcha. Okay. For any questions, further questions? We got all right. We got a call for the question on the bill. I see no opposition. Let us vote. Those in favor of House Bill 1687, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And the ayes have it. Congratulations, Representative Barrett. You are off to where? He's calendar and rules. All right. Very good. Item number 4. We have Chairman Vital. You are here. House Bill 1786. I see no amendments with that one. And we got a motion and a second. And you, sir, are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee members. This bill was brought to me by the Comptroller's Office. This bill promotes and protects the integrity of the procurement process and guarantees that bidders do not receive unfavorable advantage. Simply stated, House Bill 1786 ensures the confidentiality of a bid during the bidding process. Currently, the statute is open to interpretation regarding the contract regulation of procurement records. This will clarify that the confidentiality provision applies to all solicitations for goods and services. This bill does not expand the confidentiality provision. It also does not amend the open records provision after an award is opened. With that explanation, I'm open for questions, or I have representatives from the Comptroller's Office with us.
All right. Very good. All right. Very good. Good explanation. Are there any questions to the sponsor? We have a call. Yes, we have a call for the question. So with that, and I see no opposition, let us vote. Those in favor of House Bill 1786, please say aye. Those opposed, no. And the ayes have it. Chairman, and you are off to CNR, calendar and rules.
Thank you, committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Congratulations. All right. FYI to members, number 5, HJR 706 has been rolled, or 2 weeks. Rolled 2 weeks. So let's move on. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot the gavel. Got to make it right here. All right. We're up now to item number 6, House Bill 1788. And Representative Capley, it is an honor for me to introduce you today and have you in front of us. Thank you for this bill. You already have, this shows you how popular you are. You already have a motion and a second, sir. So if you would you please present your bill?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's an honor to stand before you today, this morning. Mr. Chairman, if you'll entertain me for just a second, I again want to recognize my student, well, not my
Absolutely.
students, my alumni class. Kids from Murray County here today, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman. I apologize. I'm getting twisted up here. I also want to recognize a young man standing in the back. He is my chief of police in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Chief, please stand up.
Well, yeah,
Chief
stand
Terry
up there
Beecham.
for us.
Come on, Chief.
Yeah, all right.
Come on. I'm telling you.
Absolutely. Welcome all. We appreciate you
sir.
being here.
Absolutely.
Sure.
He is, Chief Terry Beecham is a shining example of what I think we can all look up to as far as law enforcement goes. And he's a dedicated public servant. And I would be remiss in not acknowledging him today. So, but to the bill, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate you entertaining me. This bill comes from the Comptroller's Office. It codifies current practice by updating the law regarding the current retention of records for state contractors and subcontractors. The bill changes the record retention period from 3 years to 5 years from the date of final payment, unless a shorter period is authorized in writing by the comptroller. And that is what the bill does, Mr. Chairman.
Good job, sir. Thank you for that. And we want to turn our attention to Representative McCalman. You are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative, as an alumni from this school, did you graduate and then decide to run for office as the youngest member of our body?
Yes, sir. You must address that, Representative Copley.
Representative, I made a lot of decisions after I graduated. Running for office wasn't an immediate decision, but it came later after that. Maybe. I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah, Representative McCallum.
Well, Representative Capley, thank you very much. I think this is a good bill. It keeps more information on the books and opens for transparency. Good bill. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Further questions to the sponsor? I see none. We've got a call for the question, and I appreciate that. Let us move on. This brings us to a vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, no, and the ayes have it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Committee.
All right. Thank you. And you are headed to calendar and rules, Rep. Capley. Good for you. All right. We're going to ask Mr. UT himself, Chairman Raper, to come right on up. And we are, he is going to, he's on item number 7, House Bill 1597. Now, I do see, Chairman, an amendment here with that. Could you please give us, well, let's try to get this amendment on the bill. So have you got a, well, let's get a motion and a second on the bill first, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Got a motion and a second on the bill. Now, let's move on to the amendment. Give us that tracking code, please, sir.
Yes, sir. 013224.
Wonderful. You're right on target. Okay. We need a motion and a second on this. We do. We've got a motion and a second on the amendment. Any questions to the sponsor on the amendment? I see none. I'm sorry. Yes, Representative Pearson.
Thank you so much,
You're
Chairman.
recognized.
What is the amendment?
It may makes the bill. Am I wrong on this?
Yes, sir.
We need to get it on so we can make the bill, and then we can move right on to the questioning.
Okay, I got you.
Rep. Pearson. Okay, let's get this on the bill. So we got a motion and a second. Let's vote. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. The ayes have it. Now it is on the bill. Back to you, Chairman Raper. Would you please present now that you've got your amendment on?
Yes,
Would
sir.
you please give
And
us a
thank you.
description of the bill, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, committee. Representative, I'll first explain your question. It changes one word from the official food to an official food. That's all it does. So thank you. This is HB 1597, and it is connected to my next bill, which is 1598. And I was told by legal that I had to do this one first to fulfill the state constitution. So I'm doing this one first. And it is, I want to run hot slaw. And those of you who don't know what hot slaw is, it is not a heated version of coleslaw. It is heated up with peppers. So it's a more of a mustard and vinegar and a peppery type slaw. And I want to run this as an official state food, and it must be run as official state food before I get to my second bill, which is what I'm actually trying to achieve. Some examples. Someone could run a bill in Memphis to say barbecue capital of the state, Nashville, hot chicken capital, Collegedale, Little Debbie capital. This is part of Cleveland's history on hot slaw, and we have many historical foods and beverages around the state. For example, Mountain Dew is historical to Johnson City. Moon pies and crystals are native to Chattanooga. So Tennessee is blessed with many unique stories involving food and beverages. we have a task of keeping these historical events alive for our future. And to refresh your memory, last year we voted to make pumpkin pie an official pie of the state of Tennessee. So please help me preserve history by making hot slaw an official food of Tennessee.
Wow. I like that presentation now, Chairman. You've got a lineup of questions though. We're going to first recognize Deputy Speaker Johnson. You are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Raper, are you familiar with the name Thornton Prince III?
No, sir, I am not.
Mr. Prince was born and raised here in Nashville in the early 1900s. Around 1930, he went out with his friends one Saturday night, stayed out way too late. And when he got home, his spouse was not happy at all. So the next morning, she decided she was going to get revenge. So she made him a fried chicken breakfast. And to get back at him, she put a lot of cayenne pepper in it.
Ooh.
So when he ate it, it had just the opposite effect. He loved it. He loved it so much that around 1930, he and his brother opened a restaurant in Nashville, and it was called the Barbecue Chicken Cafe. It was so popular that it kept going. And today it's known as Prince's Hot Chicken Shack. And his niece, Andrea Prince Jeffries, now owns that. Now, the way Mr. Prince made chicken, he would marinate it in buttermilk overnight, batter it, and then put a sauce on it. Now, the sauce would either be mild, medium, hot, or extra hot. And the way you got the hotness was with cayenne pepper. So could you give us a brief history of hot slaw, and does it contain cayenne pepper?
All right, boy, what a challenge you have ahead of you. Chairman Raper, you are recognized. Are you prepared?
I am, and thank you for the question, and thank you for the historical lesson, because I did not know that. And I will say this on the examples I gave: if anybody, any of our reps want to run those bills pertaining to those states, I will be the first to co-sign them. I think that we need to preserve history, and you're actually steering a little bit of my thunder about the local, which is my next bill, but I will give you a background. They had ingredients that they gathered from all over the state of Tennessee, and what they decided to do was this. There was an old drive-in theater that was open at the time. It's closed since then. It's called Starview Theater in Cleveland, Tennessee, and the owners decided they wanted to make something unique. So instead of just having coleslaw as a side dish, they made this, which they refer to as hot slaw. And then it evolved. The next thing you know, they started putting on hot dogs, hamburgers. They put it in pinto beans in lieu of chow chow. They put it on chicken sandwiches. They put it on everything. So in Cleveland, Tennessee, this is a staple, and it's I checked this out before I got to this bill. It is offered in every single grocery store in Cleveland, Tennessee. So, and also some restaurants. So,
oh, quite a story. Leader Johnson.
What about the cayenne pepper?
It does not have cayenne pepper, but it's another kind of peppers, and the whole recipe is secretive. And to give you an idea, everybody says, how hot is it? Well, you can make it as hot as you want to, but it really has the consistency when I'm talking about heat wise of maybe a mild jalapeno. So it's not ridiculously hot at all, but you can make it. You can put habaneros in it. God help us on ghost peppers, anything like that. But anyway, you can make it as hot as you want to.
Back to you, Leader Johnson. Further question. He says he's done. All right, we're going to now Representative McCalvin. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative, kind of a two-part question. I had three, but you answered it with Speaker Johnson's last question on how one would eat said hot slaw. Two parts is how often do you eat hot slaw? And will you entertain a suggestion to bring samples for all of us and the public here watching
All right.
someday to see?
Chairman Raper, you're all right. You're recognized.
As long as it is legal, I will bring it into the break room if it makes it to the House floor, and everybody can have a sample if they want to. And how often do I eat it? Often. And I'm gonna say my wife and I eat it 4 to 5 times a week.
Wow. Okay, back to you, Representative
No
McCallum.
further questions, Mr.
All
Chairman.
right,
Thank
he
you,
says
Sponsor.
no further question. We are now want to recognize Chair Lady Littleton. You are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was just going to say it's going to be really hard to vote for some hot slaw when we have not tried it to be the slaw of the state.
Would you like to respond to that, Chairman Raper?
Yes, and I did have it when we were in subcommittee, and I decided there was so little eaten and tried that I think they were scared of it actually. So I will have it in the break room if we do make it to the House floor. I do not want to violate any rules as far as props or anything like that. So it will be in there.
Back to you, Chair Lady. Any further questions? Follow up.
I'm going to let it go to the floor, but I'm going to need a sample before I vote on it on the floor. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Follow up.
I can work on that, Madam Chair.
Okay. Any further questions? Yes, we do. Chairman Eldridge, you're recognized.
I just can't let this go. This is more of a statement, a comment. I don't believe I've seen such an impassioned presentation since Chairman Russell asked for pumpkin pie to be made the state pie.
That's
So
good.
with that, I don't know how anybody can really vote against it.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Eldridge. Wow. That's quite a compliment. But we've now got a question called on the bill. So
Okay.
let us vote. Let us vote.
Sure.
For those in favor, please say aye. And those opposed, no. Please say aye. I think the ayes have it. I see no opposition. So this one, Chairman, note that this one is, you're headed to calendar and rules on this one.
Thank
So
you.
remain standing. And now we're going to move to our final bill for the calendar, and that is HB 1598. HB 1598, no amendments. We've already got a call for the motion and a second. So with that, Chairman Raper, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee. I don't want to be too redundant here, but hot slaw is a regional food of the city of Cleveland, and it's hard to find it anywhere else other than Cleveland, Tennessee. And I think that's why we need to really focus on the historical part of this. And I'd mentioned about grocery stores keeping it stocked, and also several restaurants. Due to its popularity, Cleveland hosts an annual event each year called the National Hot Slaw Festival, and I am one of the judges. And what we try to do is we try to get the winner gets as close as possible to the original recipe, which is still secretive to this day. So and hot slaw is similar to coleslaw in consistency, but it tastes totally different. And the last thing I'll say is this: it's a result of this unique dish native to Cleveland. I'm requesting you to make Cleveland, Tennessee, which already is self-proclaimed as the hot slaw capital of the United States, but I want to make it the official hot slaw capital of the state of Tennessee.
Very good. All right. We do have questions, and we're now going to recognize Chairman Powers. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I was in the subcommittee when this bill came through, and I just happened to remember that many years ago, Donna Summer actually had a song out about this. I can't sing, but it goes something like, "Looking for some hot slaw, baby, this evening. I need some hot slaw, baby, tonight. I want some hot slaw, baby, this evening." And it kind of goes like that. So you might want to consider using that along with your bill.
Wow. Well, now let's see what your response is, Chairman. Back to you now.
The only one I know is Rocky Top. So-
Any further questions? Got a call. Boy, we better call for the question quick. No further comments. All right. We got a call for the question and I see no opposition. So let us vote. Those in favor, please say aye. And those opposed, no. And the ayes have it. Congratulations. And you are headed to calendar and rules.
Thank you,
Chairman.
Chairman and
Great
committee.
job, boy. You kept us entertained, Chairman. And ladies and gentlemen, that does complete our calendar. If there's no further business, I'd like to get a motion to adjourn. We do, we have it, and we are adjourned.